Hi, I'm DaraMonifah Cooper, the Communication Specialist for the Southern Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education Program. And today we are going to speak with some folks who are right in the middle of their grant project. Usually you hear about grant projects after they're finished, but we wanted to switch things up a little bit and let you understand what happens right in the middle of it, or maybe even at a third of it. So we're going to start off with Brett, and very organically, just let you know how some of these things work, and we'll go around the room. And let us know, Brett, whatever you'd like to let them know about what you do, where you are, and on you.
Hi there, my name is Brett Wolff, and I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, which is the biggest city in the state of Kentucky, and now I live in Lexington, which is the second biggest. So I guess I'm working my way down the list of cities. But I don't come from a farm background, but through work and school and life, I have ended up in this world of agriculture, and now I work in part of my time with the SSARE program as what's called the program assistant for the Model State Program of Kentucky. And what that means is I'm one of a handful of folks who is out in the state of Kentucky representing the SSARE program, supporting folks as they apply to grant programs. I also coordinate and offer professional development to a variety of different people throughout the state, all related to this idea of sustainable agriculture. But as far as things like the project that we're talking about today, at some points in the past, I have worked with Dr. Rudolph on some previous SSARE grant work that she has done. And yeah, I'm just here mainly to support and share about the resources and the grant opportunities and other fun stuff that SSARE has going on here in the state of Kentucky. And so if you can reach out to me, I can help share that with you and get you started on your SSARE journey.
I'm Rachel Rudolph. I'm an assistant extension professor here at the University of Kentucky in Lexington. I work with growers and county agents doing trainings, and then I also conduct applied research focused on commercial vegetable production.
Hi, my name is Louise. I'm a master's student here in the Department of Horticulture in the University of Kentucky. This project is related to my master's thesis, and I organize, I collect the data, I analyze the data, and also need to communicate with the growers and present the data in Congress, in conferences.
How did you get connected to this project?
Well, I look at the professors, from the University of Kentucky, and I had two professors that I was the most interested, like, in what they worked in, and one of those professors were like Rachel. So I asked my partner at the time to come here and talk to someone from the department. I think he talked to Mark Williams,
Yeah.
to see if there was like, an opportunity here. And then there was one here with Rachel, so here I am.
Okay, nice. And I'm hearing your accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Ah, okay. Like when did you go from Brazil to Kentucky?
I came here in July from last year, so now I'm in my second year of my master's.
Nice. Okay. All right. So, Rachel, how did you initially learn about the SARE program? And I know we're connected to many of the universities, but
Mhm.
what was your experience and how did it come in front of you?
I think my first exposure to SSARE in general was through the resources that they have. So I still have managing cover crops profitably and building better soil. Those are two like really cool handbook, books that SSARE has put out. And I saw those probably 15 years ago, and someone gave me a copy of each one, and I used them periodically throughout the years. And so that was kind of my first exposure to SSARE. And then, of course, if you look on the website, you see there's grant opportunities, right? And so I kind of had that in the back of my mind before I became a faculty member. I'd had a little exposure to SSARE as a grad student. And so, it's a great opportunity for applied research with growers involved. And so it's a perfect fit for someone in my position that does work with growers and does applied research.
Gotcha. And Brent, you were saying earlier that you all worked together on something. What was that you spoke about? Because it wasn't this grant, it was another one.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, one of the things that I end up doing in my job, I'm here at the University of Kentucky as well, all part of the Extension Service. But so I'll get questions from potential grant writers like Rachel, but also producers and extension agents, folks like that, who will say, I took a look at the SSARE projects and the potential grants, and I have some ideas about what I might want to do. Can you chat about it? Or can you answer these questions? Or maybe can you connect me to someone at the regional SSARE level? Rachel had previously done a professional development program grant, what we in the biz call a PDP, and she just reached out and had some ideas about we've had these high tunnels go up all over the state of Kentucky, and our field extension and other technical assistance providers sometimes are struggling to be able to answer questions because they hadn't really had hands-on experience with those. And so Rachel submitted a proposal to get some hands-on experience for those folks through the professional development program. And through the process of her developing the proposal and the idea, we just kind of got together and chatted, and we'd take walks around campus back before all the construction.
Yes.
And we had a few trees, and she would and we just kind of bounce ideas and I think hone in on something that would be useful. And I really do enjoy that part of my work, of being able to give some feedback and be creative and brainstorm with people about projects that could be a good fit for the SSARE programs.
Yeah, and Brett has a background in kind of survey work, and so that was also really helpful of like thinking like questions. What do you want people to get out of it? What kind of questions are you going to ask to figure out if they're learning what you want them to learn, right? Those kind of things. So I found him to be really helpful in that way of just kind of switching my brain into that mode. And he was also helpful in that, hey, if you have other questions, you know, SSARE's really responsive, you know, kind of encouraging that. So, you know, reaching out to David Redditch is not something I necessarily would have done without Brett saying, I think you could totally email him and he'll get back to you, you know, or you can give him a call and he'll chat with you on the phone, right? So that's been my experience. I think, you know, Brett made it feel accessible, and the rest of the SSARE, Southern SSARE people followed up with that. It was a pretty pleasant experience. You know, you usually can't say that about grant proposal writing, but it was.
Yeah, so I hear. So that was with the PDP grant. And so this isn't a PDP. What was your experience like in terms of the grant application process for this one?
Pretty similar. I mean, you know, the system is the same. So, and the request for proposals document is pretty clear on what you all need, what you don't want, what to include, those kind of things. And so it's pretty accessible again. And, you know, the turnaround time is reasonable. So this is a research and education grant this time around, and it's been similar in that accessibility sense.
Nice. So I noticed that from what you all have already been submitting in our grant management site, there's a plot map, there's some experimental design going on, and then there's some other things. Who can speak about those things with the process and all that's happening so far?
I can show the plot map and speak a little bit about that.
Sure. Oh, wow. Okay, so tell us what we're looking at.
So we are looking at the plot map from the experiment. We've been conducting our experiment in 2 high tunnels. One of the high tunnels is open during Solarization, and the other is closed. We divided the project in 3 different seasons, so 3 different times of the year. So one is in spring, from April to May. other is in summer, in July, and the other is in September. So here you can see the plots from those different seasons. And we have 3 different treatments. Non-solarized plots, which are the plots that are not with the plastic tarp. We have 2 weeks of soil solarization and 4 weeks of soil solarization. So the blue plots are non-solarized, the yellows are 2 weeks, and the red plots are 4 weeks of solarization. And we have 4 reps for each treatment, for each season.
Wow, very neatly organized. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I'm wondering, like, you've already, I mean, to me, I don't do all this work, you know, I take pictures. I take videos, I make stuff look pretty. But the research that you're doing, to be able to have the opportunity as a student to participate in this, is this the first time you're doing work like this, Louisa, or have you done anything like before? And what are you getting out of it so far for yourself?
It's my first time working with high tunnels. So working there, you know, at the farm with the high tunnels is new for me. It's not my first time like dealing with experimental designs. I studied a little with that in my undergrad. But for me, it's bringing so much new experiences for me, you know. I'm really liking what I do here, you know, like collecting all the data, you know, like soil temperature, weeds emerging in the plots or like vacuuming the pests. So it's also interested for me.
Nice. And Rachel, I know that you've done some presentations on some of the subject matter as well. Could you share a little bit about those?
Yeah, as an extension specialist, a big part of my job is giving presentations to growers and county agents. Those presentations are usually presenting work based off of applied research that we've done or that a collaborator has done. And so those presentations were given to growers, and just talking about soil solarization and what is it and how can you do it, and here are some results that we've gotten from this, and you know, here's some considerations. These are things that we've learned along the way, like, hey, don't make these same mistakes, right? A lot of it is just kind of drumming up interest. And you know, soil solarization has the potential to be a really good helpful management strategy for growers kind of across that production spectrum, so conventional to organic, right, and everything in between. And so, you know, we're still kind of figuring out the ins and outs of that, but to kind of just get people interested in it. That's what those presentations have been about.
Okay, so what's next for the project? Whoever wants to speak on that.
So currently we are like finishing the summer season that we start in July. So we'll harvest the lettuce that we planted next week. And then we'll also solarize in September, you know, for the fall experiment. And we want to present the data next year, you know, from the whole first year of experiment in conferences for growers. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And how can people follow along? Like, I noticed the videos that you all have on YouTube right away. Are there any other ways for people to follow along the process of what you're doing?
Yeah, so yeah, YouTube's a great way to see videos, and then fact sheets, other information related to our lab or what we do. We have a lab website through the University of Kentucky, and we can post that up there.
All right, so thank you all. Now, if people want to reach you, what's the best way to contact? And more specifically, Rachel, you for the project, and also Brett, you for anyone else that might be interested in applying for other grants in Kentucky. could you all share your contact info? Rachel, you can go first.
Yeah, my email is rachel.rudolph@uky.edu. So any questions about the project or interest in hearing presentations, you can check the website. We keep the events pretty well updated. So if there's a presentation coming up, for sure, check that.
And is that the vegcrops.ca.uky.edu?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you're in the state of Kentucky and you're interested in the SSARE program, you can reach out to me. So my name is Brett Wolff, with Brett with 2 T's, Wolff with 2 F's. And my email address is the same, brett.wolff@uky.edu. And you can also give me a call at 859-218-4384. And I'll give you a ring back, or emails, usually what people have a lot of thoughts they want to share and they kind of lay them out there. But either way, I'm happy to support what you're looking to do, and if you need resources or you're trying to access something or you just have any question about SSARE, I'm happy to field those.
Thank you all so much. I learned a lot already from listening to what you're talking about. I still have no idea about some of it, but I look forward to continuing to follow along on that website, watching your YouTube videos, and we'll, touch base again once your project is completely finished. It's due to be completed in 2026, is that correct? Okay, so we'll look out then, but for now, looking forward to get some more of your work out there. I'm sure many people will be able to learn from it. And also others will be hopefully interested in trying to apply for themselves to get their own funding, whether it's research and education or PDP, as you mentioned, and all of the other grants that we offer for producers, for combinations of university NGOs, nonprofits, or producers combined. We offer a whole lot of things. So for people who want to find out more, you could visit our website, southernsare.org, or if you like acronyms and you're into those kinds of things, SSARE.org. The S is for Southern, and SSARE is Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education Program. It's a USDA NIFA program, and our Southern SSARE program is hosted, it's housed within the University of Georgia. That's our host institution in the South. And our Southern region covers the 13 states from Virginia down to Florida, over to Texas and Oklahoma, and then hop through the ocean to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, which is where I'm from. And so I definitely got to pass through Kentucky at some point. I'm looking forward to meeting you all and hanging with you again, Brett, at some point soon. But thank you all so much.
All right.